F the haters. Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well and had a lovely Christmas. Happy New Year, because when I post this it will be January the 1st, which is really weird to think about because obviously it's not New Year's Day now. But I cannot believe we are going into 2021. That is crazy. I am probably the most glam I have ever been in a video right now, and that is because it's just been Christmas and I've got a lovely Dyson Airwrap. So I've literally been playing with it and curling my hair pretty much every day just to try and get used to it. Once I have got used to it a bit more, I'll probably post a little review type thing on my channel, so let me know if that's something you'd like to see of the Dyson Airwrap. I literally cannot believe I have one. I can't believe I got one for Christmas. Genuinely shed a couple tears. I was absolutely ecstatic, and yeah, this is my hair after the Dyson Airwrap today, so let me know what you think. It's a lot more voluminous than what I'm used to, and I always tuck my hair behind my ears, so that'll probably be happening soon. I was also thinking about doing a little video of what I got for Christmas, because I've seen a lot of people doing those, and I personally love seeing what people get for Christmas. For me, it's basically the same as a haul. Like, I absolutely love it, but I just wasn't sure. I didn't know if it's a bit like insensitive because of the current circumstances. Like, obviously 2020 has just been a crazy year. We're in the middle of like a global pandemic. Like, do I really need to be shown what I got for Christmas? I don't know. So I decided to leave that idea. So sorry if that is something you would have liked to have seen. I know I love those videos, but I just thought not this year, so maybe next year. If that's something you'd like to see, let me know and I can get that ready for next year, I guess. I should probably address the change of scenery. If you've seen my previous vlogs, you will know this is my spare room, my little walk-in wardrobe as I like to call it, because I do have a lot of my clothes in here. I thought I'd switch it up today, and also if I do one more video sat on that bed, I am going to have back problems because I literally sit with no back support and it kills me. But I've got a nice little sofa here. I could have some guests if I really wanted to. So today what I'm going to be doing is making my New Year's resolutions. This is something that I like to do every year just to set myself some goals for the year. My number one rule with making New Year's resolutions or setting goals for myself is I like to aim obviously high. I'm not going to do silly ones, but nothing that I know is unreachable at the moment, and I try not to go for things that I can't necessarily control, if that makes sense. One thing I've learned a lot from working in life is there's certain things that you can't control. For example, if you wanted a promotion at work, that's cool. You can absolutely work really hard to try and get that promotion, but you can't control that completely. If that makes sense, that's how I think of it. Because at the end of the day, you're not the one that's going to choose who gets that promotion. For example, like this year, obviously, we don't really know what's going to happen in terms of COVID, and it is really kind of getting in the way of a lot of plans. So I might not want to make a New Year's resolution of, oh, by the end of 2021, I want to have travelled to 10 different countries, because that might not be possible. Borders could get shut. I can't control that. If it was any other year, I don't necessarily think that's a bad resolution to make. But for example, this year, I know that's not really something I can fully control, if that makes sense. I don't really know if that makes sense. Like, it makes sense in my head. Does that make me sound a bit of a Debbie Downer? Don't know. Anyway. Okay, so last year, as well as New Year's resolutions, I made myself a bucket list. And on this bucket list, I had get at least 2 new piercings. Bearing in mind, I already have my nose pierced, my ears pierced. I have the inside there, I think it's called the conch in there. I have up there pierced, my ear pierced. I did have both holes, but they've closed up, so I don't know where that was going to be, but I said get at least 2 new piercings. I think I was aiming for the ears. Learn a new skill. Finish uni with a degree. So tick, I've done that one. And the kind of deep one, and every time I told people this I got a bit embarrassed, but it's okay. So I put learn to love myself as one of them as well, which is something I've sort of touched on my channel a little bit about going too soppy. It's just, you know, I'm on a journey, constantly putting myself down. That's something that I wanted to try and change, and you know what, I think I've made a lot of progress in this year on that without even really noticing it. So I think I can half tick that off, but I think I'm going to carry it on to this year. Like, it's a journey, it's not going to happen overnight, but for me, even starting my YouTube channel alone is a way of me learning to love myself, learning to be confident in myself and think that I'm good enough. Learn a new skill though, I don't know that I have. I think, like, when I think of like learn new skills, like learn a new instrument or learn like to dance or something like that, I'm just thinking the only really sort of skills I've maybe picked up are like in like social skills. Yeah, like, I'm not going to be too hard on myself. I think I have ticked that off. I think I have ticked that off, but maybe not in like a really noticeable way where I can go, I've learned this new skill. But like, I know in my head, like, there's social situations where I've picked up on skills. There's no real way of me explaining that without explaining a whole story, but things like confrontation or learning how to like stick up for myself, like learning my limit on like trying to please people, for me that's a skill, and that is something that I've learned, and I think that's what goes hand in hand with learning to love myself, which was obviously something that I had on this bucket list. So I guess there were New Year's resolutions, but I just called it a bucket list, and I think that's because I wanted to get 2 new piercings, and that's not really a New Year's resolution, is it? Or is it? Finished uni with a degree this year, finished with a 2-1, so I'm extremely proud of that. There was definitely some times where I thought there is no way in hell I'm going to pass at all. Definitely some late night essay writing, or for me I did an editing degree, so as well as essay writing, last minute edits being done. Yeah, I'm really proud of that one. So that was my bucket list from this year. I can't decide if a bucket list and New Year's resolutions are basically the same thing. Okay, so we'll kick off with my 2021 New Year's resolutions. So number 1 is going to be carrying on from 2021, which is the learning to love myself part. I know it sounds really kind of cringy, and I feel kind of cringy saying it, but like I said, I feel like I've come so far, because in 2020 I have started my YouTube channel, which is something I've wanted to do for so many years. I know I say it all the time, but I am actually so proud of myself for putting myself out there and just doing it, and that comes a lot with just not caring what people think, and that all just falls into learning to love myself. So I am very proud of how far I've come, but I think I have more to do, or further to go in that self-love journey. So I'd say in 2020 I have overcome partially the caring what people think, and that's why I've been able to start my channel, and yeah, I've just felt more confident in myself by saying, you know what, who cares if they want to talk rubbish, more for them. You can't please everyone is a really big thing that I've learned, and I try and remind myself every day, like, you just absolutely cannot please everyone. So yeah, I feel like I've partially overcome the caring what people think, but we've still got a little bit further to go. In 2021, I want to focus more on actually learning to embrace myself, is probably the better way to put it. Like, embrace my flaws and accept the way that I am and the way that I look and things like that, because that is something that I think a lot of people struggle with. So I'm not like getting little violins out, because everyone's pretty much the same. Everyone struggles to accept their flaws or who they are as a person, and I think it's something that this year's got to me more so. In 2020 I definitely have struggled a bit. It's been the first year that I've ever actually struggled a bit with anxiety, which I've never really struggled with before, and I've never spoken about on the internet before, but we're opening right up. That's something that I experienced for the first time this year, dealing with anxiety, but I think a lot of people have, again, like, it's a global pandemic going on. It's a really crazy time. So this year I want to learn to accept myself, because I think one of the biggest things that gives me anxiety is, one, like, people don't like me, which I know I said I've overcome a little bit, but I've still got a way to go. But I always overthink things in my head, like, was I too loud? Am I too loud? Am I annoying? Oh, everyone's gonna think that I look like this way. Everyone thinks I look like this. Oh, I bet they don't like my outfit. Like, all these stupid things that no one really thinks. I don't think, no one's actually said it to me, but in my head I think that. So this year, in 2021, I want to learn to embrace myself. I genuinely believe, I think it's a RuPaul quote, my manager said it to me once as well, and it was so funny. If you can't love yourself, how's anyone else going to love you? Don't know if I said the quote word for word, but it's along those lines. Okay, so my second New Year's resolution is to progress on my YouTube channel. Now, I'm keeping that quite open because, like I said, I don't always think it's a good idea to set goals for things that you can't control. Now, I know in my head, and I've put it on my TikTok before, so I'm going to openly say it, and I think I've said it in my videos before, by Christmas next year, I would absolutely love to be at 1,000 subscribers. So this year, or 2020, I have to keep phrasing that because obviously you're going to be watching this on January 1st in 2021, but for Christmas 2020 I wanted to hit 100 subscribers, and I did, and I was so proud of that, and I am so over the moon with that. Literally still can't really believe 100 people want to watch my videos. So following from that, I know that for Christmas 2021 I would love to be at 1,000 subscribers, but I also know I can't control that. Like, I can't, you know, put a gun to 1,000 people's heads and say subscribe to my channel right now. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen, but I can work towards that, and I can try my hardest to help that happen. So I'm not going to put the pressure on myself of, at the end of 2021 I want to have 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I know I would like that, but I'm not going to make it like my New Year's resolution because I think that's a bit too much pressure on the situation. So I would like to progress. I would like to continue making videos that I am proud of, and I would like to feel proud of myself and my progression in my channel. So essentially, I don't want to let my channel flop. So in 2021, one of my New Year's resolutions is to keep my channel going, keep the videos flowing, keep the good times, baby. Now, I think one of my New Year's resolutions has to be around fashion. Okay, hear me out. So I buy clothes like there's no tomorrow. I absolutely do. I would love to see myself reusing clothes more. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not someone that wears something once and throws it away. I'm really not. But I definitely get in my own head about, I've already worn this, everyone's gonna know. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. I never go out and go, oh, seen you in that cardigan 10 times. 10 times, and you've owned it for 3 years. Disgraceful. I've never done that. Have you ever done that? If you have, I think you might need to rethink what's going on. Why'd you care? You don't, do you? You don't. So yeah, I definitely think one of my New Year's resolutions has to be around re-wearing clothes and sending stuff back. Future Becca, when you watch this back in 2022, are you still forgetting to send clothes back because it's disgraceful? I genuinely think I should do a whole video on clothes that I've forgotten to send back. It is disgraceful. It's actually terrible. I'm wasting money. Oh, I'm not going to get into it. I might have to make a whole video on that. And my final New Year's resolution, which I'm probably the most scared to say, like, I've just gone on this big thing about, oh, don't do ones that are aiming too big because you don't, like, the last thing I want is next year just feeling disappointed with myself. Do you know what I mean? Obviously you want to set good goals, but you don't want to, you know. This one is probably the hardest. As I've mentioned on my channel before, I do go to the gym. Believe it or not, I do go to the gym. I like working out. I love doing weight training. I really do. And when I go to the gym, I do try and do some running on the running machine. However, I can only run for 5 minutes. 5. And that's an absolute maximum. That is on a really good day. Like, I think if I went to the gym tomorrow, because I've not been for a couple of weeks now because obviously lockdown, I think I would struggle to even hit those 5 minutes. Okay, and I'm talking on like a 9.5 setting. So is that even running? 9.5? I'm pretty sure it is. It's pretty, it feels like it is. So please do not comment saying that's jogging, because it's not. I'm telling you now, it's running. Okay, and the most I can do is 5 minutes before my lungs feel like they're going to collapse. So my New Year's resolution for next year, for 2021, couldn't think what year it was going to be then, is going to be able to run for, what's a good aim? So this doesn't help. I'm not very good with running. What's good? I'm going to say I want to be able to run for 15 minutes, but I would actually really like to be able to run for like a set distance. So do you know what? I'm going to say I'd like to run a 4K. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there. I've said it now. I can't take it back. I'd like to run a 4K. Okay, what is a 4K in miles? I'm so bad with running though, like I don't understand these terms. So what is a 4K? I just know everyone does it. 4K in miles? Is that what you'd say? Oh, it's 2.4 miles. Oh, that's not that bad, right? Is that long? I don't know. But this is coming from someone that can't run for longer than 5 minutes, and I don't think you can do a 4K in 5 minutes, can you? Unless you're like a really good runner, and I'm not. It's okay, because I've got an entire year to figure that out. I want to be able to run on the running machine for 15 minutes straight, or do a 4K, whichever is longer. I'll figure it. When I figure it out, I'll let you know. Because right now, I don't know anything about running at all. So if you do, please hit me up, give us some tips. I might have to, oh, or is it 5K? I did have that app once, Couch to 5K. Should I have done it to 5K? Is it 5K or 4? God, this resolution's already giving me a headache. I'm already dreading it. Okay, so by 2021, in 2021, I'd like to have run a 4 or 5K. Or be able to run 15 minutes on the running machine, whichever one's longer. I feel like it's going to be the 4 or 5K. I don't know. I'm already dreading that last resolution, so wish me luck for that one, because I genuinely think it's going to be a mission. That is going to be all my New Year's resolutions for now. There are some other little bits, like I would still like to get some more piercings, but I've not quite figured that stuff out yet, so I'm going to stick with those as my New Year's resolutions for now. Hopefully I've enjoyed them, and hopefully it has inspired you to create your own New Year's resolutions. I always think it's really, really good to set yourself goals, not just for a new year, but throughout the week, throughout the months, and then obviously, yeah, throughout the years. It's always really good to have goals, just to set yourself targets and to keep yourself inspired. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and more importantly, I hope you have had a lovely festive period and a wonderful new year. Hopefully this year will be much better than the 2020 we have had, and hopefully we will see better times ahead. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because you will be helping for my mini goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers by next Christmas. I will see you in the next video.